Well, now, the April 15th explosions during the Boston Marathon are still surrounded by question marks. It has now emerged that the suspect's mother was placed in a U.S. terror database in the fall of 2011. The CIA reportedly placed Zubaydah Tsarnaeva, together with her older son Tamerlan Tsarnaev, on its database at the same time. Tamerlan was shot and killed by the U.S. police in the manhunt following the bombings. Her mother insists that her sons were innocent, blaming U.S. security services for the death of her son. The younger brother, Johar, is hospitalized due to a gunshot wound in his throat. He's been charged with federal terror offences over the twin blasts that left 3 people dead and scores more injured. Let's go to Washington and talk to Dr. Randy Short with the Dignity and Human Rights and Peace Organization. Welcome to the program, sir. Doctor, it's interesting to see the mother of the 2 Chechnyan men has also been put on the FBI's terror list. How come?
Well, do you really think that they need a reason? If I can be direct with you, Martin Luther King, who received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, was being watched from the age of 14 by the government, by the FBI. And this is back in the 1950s, 40s, 50s. So there's always been a paranoia. Since the United States went on a war footing, starting with the First World War and the Palmer raid under Mitchell Palmer, there's always been a long list of hated enemies of the state. In order to have a permanent state of war, you have to have enemies. So it doesn't really matter whether she had done anything or not. This kind of trend pre-existed the war on terror. The war on terror is just the most recent manifestation or metastasization of America's maniacal war machine.
I mean, new dimensions are popping up by the day concerning the Boston blast case. I mean, but it's interesting that no detailed information is being given with regards to the actual location of the blast. I mean, no camera view from inside the location. Just how questionable is this?
Well, you know, there are many people who think that this is a government false flag effort. It's interesting how certain things are not released, and yet other things are. When they wanted to set these young men up, or whatever they've done with them, you knew all about them. Yet you can have another American who happens to be Jewish, Duchki, who sends a letter that's poisonous to Obama, and nobody mentions that he's Jewish. They play games with information. It's about misinformation to manipulate and frighten and cow the American people. And ultimately, if you look at where this has gone, if you look at what happened in Canada, they ultimately want to blame Iran. This is about making AIPAC and the other people who want a war with Iran at all costs. So it doesn't matter. They just need a good enough lie to initiate more conflict.
Indeed. Well, we'll leave it there for the time being. Many thanks to Dr. Randy Short with the Dignity, Human Rights and Peace Organization, joining us from Washington. Thanks for your time there, sir.